Hello everybody, this is Waco here. So today I'm going to show you how you can basically get your own web server using an SDR. As you can see, I have an LTR SDR plugged into this PC. So you're going to need a few things. First you're going to get SDR shop, of course. You have to get VSPE, XDRD, and then you also need to have a virtual audio cable, as you can see. I'm going to show you how to get all this and how to set up everything to be able to actually have your own web server. So first of all, you're going to have to download VSPE or Virtual Serial Port Simulator, as you can see. This is what it is. So I'm just going to link everything into the description. When you get into this page, you have to click on the download tab, and then you have to scroll down. You have to get into where it says latest release version, and then you see. You click on download VSPE S64-bit, or if you have a 32-bit CPU, you have to click this one, which is 32-bit x86, and then you just drag, and then you have to extract it onto your PC. I forgot. And then you have to just launch the installer and then click next, install. Who cares? And then you have to restart your PC. When does it start? You have to launch it. It will give you this beautiful evaluation mode window. VSP is not registered. It's basically like WinRAR. You just continue with limitations. You click on that, and then there you go. Welcome. You have to click this button, which is create new device. It will open new device window. You can just leave it to virtual connector, and then you have to click next. And here you have virtual COM port. You have to set it to say COM5 because COM5 is never used, and then you have to start the emulator if it's not. There you go. So now you have a virtual COM port, which will be necessary for what we're gonna need to do next. So now you have to get SDR shop. So thing is, you also need a plugin as well. If it will load, there we go. It's SDR shop XDR DLL. You can get it from the GitHub that I will also link. Which is from this GitHub, as you can see. This SDR shop XDR. It just says September 24, 2019. Who cares about it? You can just click on the release here, and then download the DLL file. And then you have to put it into the plugins folder in SDR shop. Then you have to launch it. Oh boy. Okay. Oh yeah, right. Also before you have to get the virtual audio cable. Hold on. Oh my god. Okay. You have to get it from this website, which VB cable virtual audio device. You have to click on this magnificent download button, which also, if I recall correctly, also has yeah. If you have a 64-bit CPU, you have to click on VB cable setup x64. Else for anything else, you can just click VB cable setup exe. So that's how it works. And then you have to set the output into that specifically, the cable input, and then you select your SDR and then just start it. So as well, now you can just click here and then XDR GTK server. You click on that, or just go into the plugins tab and then click on XDR GTK. You enable XDR like that, and you see how this COM port. You have to click on it and then select 5. So now that's done. Now you're gonna have to get a piece of software called XDRD, which I will link in the description because it's old, but still works. So you're gonna have to double click on start, and then normally you should have all this stuff. For this is a password, by the way, so you're gonna have to know that, because for for installing the web server, which is not what we're gonna do, we'll need it. You will also need a node.js. You have to have this installed specifically. So now you're gonna have to get the FMDX web server thing from Nubish's FMDX web server thing from this link. I can't just do it because I can reinstall everything, because I can just here you have to click on code and then download zip, and it was then just extract it, just download it wherever you want, who cares. And then normally you should have this, then you extract it with whatever archiver you have. I use 7-zip, or you can just use a default Windows one. Did you open it? And then here you click on this on the address bar, and then you have to type in cmd and then launch command prompt. So now here you have to write an npm install, as you can see. And now we're gonna have to wait until it finishes. It's gonna take a little bit depending on your hard drive, but this is a mechanical hard drive. So it's gonna take a long while. That was faster than I expected. So now after that, and then you can be able to input anything again. This means it's successfully installed. So now you can just write node and then dot like that, and then it's gonna ask you to just open your browser and proceed to localhost. So we're gonna have to do that. Just go on your browser and localhost like that, and then here you're on the wizard. So so for the first setting, you just don't tweak the web server IP, because it's not necessary. So web server ports, you would want to change it from something else than 8080. You want something random like what I use, 305.1. And you have to click next, and then here you have to do this. So you're gonna have to click on device and then select SDR like that. Here you can see. You can just leave it to TCP/IP because we use XDRD in this case. Or actually you could just do direct, but I'm not sure about this. Anyways, XDRD here you're gonna have to put in the password. So the password is noted on your XDRD command prompt, as you can see here. It just says change me here after the P attribute, which is password attribute. So you're gonna have to just write in change me. And then here since we are not using Windows, we don't need to enable Alpha software mode and additional FFmpeg. Here on your device though, you have to select cable output, because this is a virtual audio cable. And then here you can just select, web server info, you can just make it anything, like who cares. And then here you're gonna have to actually pinpoint the city. So mine is Narbonne. I'm just gonna put it here. There we go. Here you have to broadcast your map if you want to, but I am not, because I don't want to leak my IP. Well, if you want, you can just do Cloudflare stuff, but it's not the subject of this video. You can still pop forward if you want to, but even if I don't recommend it, you still can, because if you want your server to be open to the public, you have to port forward using 305.1 and 305.6.1 for this machine specifically, so that you can actually have the web server exposed, and as well as the audio exposed, as it will not work So, and then if you actually did do Cloudflare stuff, you can actually just put it like whatever, like something like that. But I did not, so I'm just gonna skip this. Here, admin panel settings, you have to put an admin password, not a tune password, an admin password. You can just put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't recommend it, but this is only for this tutorial. And then after you put like whatever admin password you want, you can have to click save. And then here it will ask you to relaunch. So you have to trigger Control C into the command prompt window where you have your web server on, and then you're gonna have to repeat node dot, and then it will show you this. So you can just oh boy, I think it's not happy. Okay, 30551, because yeah, and there you go. Your web server is exposed. And as you can see, it works. So there you go. This is how you make a web server using an SDR. I hope this has helped people. If anyone needs it, I will most likely reply in the comments if you actually have a question. And that's it. Thanks for watching.